from Savior here, and now single Mutalisk almost getting picked off there. It's going to come down to half health. That's not a huge hit though. The Scourge really caught behind the army. Savior needs to capitalize on this now though, and it looks like he is producing a lot more Mutalisk to kind of supplement this. If Hyuk gets that additional gas up and he starts moving off that will win him the game. When you have additional gas as Zerg, it's just all the difference in the world. Instead, Savior producing more Zerglings. It looks like he's going to take, I think he sent a drone down as well to take his own hatchery while he pushes up this attack. So wandering up now, a lot of Zerglings bearing down on Hyuk's front door. I don't think he has enough to defend it unless he produces some sunken colonies. The Zerglings unfortunately marching just in a straight line, and it's going to be a two-pronged attack. I don't know that Hyuk is really going to be able to pull this out. He doesn't know it's coming. Now he knows it's coming. Got a good spot there. All the Mutalisks being drawn off, and the question is where did the Scourge hit? The question is where did the Scourge hit? And it looks like Savior managed to get an additional kill, though. All the Zerglings pouring into the secondary, and Savior not microing those Mutalisks very well. I think he is going to be able... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Microing this beautifully. So able to run up. He's probably going to be able to wipe out... wiping out a couple additional Zerglings. He's going to be able to take that secondary out very easily, and it looks like he's going to end up in a very dominant position over Hyuk now. Hyuk just getting a little bit too greedy there, didn't have enough of a ground force, and those Zerglings were really the difference there, like I had hoped, actually, because it makes me look good in commentaries like this. Secondary being placed from Savior, and Savior's going to have both the attack force and the air force to defend it. He just has to make sure that Hyuk doesn't catch him off guard with some sort of all-in maneuver. And it looks like some drones moving out to maybe distance mine, maybe to plant down another, because they're distance mining. Odd. So I think Hyuk's plan from this stage is produce Mutalisks and try to win it that way. Try to catch Savior in a little bit of... Savior squandering a couple Zerglings here. He shouldn't have them out there without air support. He's going to end up losing them a little bit carelessly. But honestly, he still has enough of an army to defend that secondary. But he doesn't have that second gas up, and that will be a little bit for Hyuk to work with. He'll have maybe 100, 200 minerals to produce 2 additional Mutalisks, so Hyuk could get another shot. Evolution chamber being placed to produce as well as a sunken colony to produce a spore colony, not a sunken colony, a creep colony. That's the word I'm looking for, to produce a spore colony. And it looks like that secondary almost up for Savior, so that gas advantage shouldn't last very long. And that'll, with that spore colony in position, he'll also be in a good position to push up an attack, defend his overlords, and not really worry about a counterattack. He's going to want one at a secondary as well to really free him up to do so. Looks like that drone right there is going to be producing the creep colony there at the front. So now running headlong, this also gives a nice... he's going to have to back off. And that also kind of cuts off Hyuk at the throat. His one option again is to just do for a big counterattack of a bunch of Mutalisks, and with that spore colony supporting both locations, he's really not going to be able to do that. That spore colony underneath, just even that can be the difference in the fight. But Hyuk actually running up to the secondary, so with a large grouping of Mutalisks and just taking a lot of unnecessary damage right there, not really getting anything, but a lot of Scourge coming up to support. Maybe if he lands all these Scourge, he could pull it off, but I really don't think so. Oh no! Savior getting caught out of position. He actually ends up losing 2 Mutalisks there very nicely, and a single Zergling, 2 Zerglings pounding away at that sunken colony, able to do a little bit of damage. I still don't think it's going to be enough, because Savior's still going to have that secondary up, still producing gas. But Hyuk actually not that far behind with that gas, because he is distance mining still, and more Scourge actually running out in the field. Hyuk able to even things up a little bit here with those 2 Mutalisk kills, because he didn't actually lose a lot for that, and Savior not really replenishing his attack force here. Looks like he's just waiting for that secondary. Hyuk actually has a much larger air force right now than I expected him to over Savior because of that distance mining. Let's see if he can do something with it though. So wandering up, it looks like he's just kind of biding his time, getting a couple Scourge, gathering up his Mutalisks. And let's see what Savior's up to. I don't really have a good count on him. Looks like this is actually Savior's view. He's running up. He's seeing that secondary being rebuilt. And let's see if Savior... That's a lot of Scourge. Let's see if Savior gets a little greedy here. And Savior is getting a little bit greedy. He's going to run up with... I think you should wait until you have an overwhelming amount of Mutalisks rather than just an equal number. But he's still going to put pressure up on that secondary. He could be running directly into some trouble here. Hyuk now re-associating, I don't know the word, redirecting those drones to mine the gas. He's getting a creep colony of his own. And before that creep colony's up, Savior going to wander in. A lot of Scourge wandering down. It looks like, he's going to land a couple on Hyuk's. But Savior actually retreating a lot of his Mutalisks, and they're going to get caught out of position. Now they're pinned in. And I think they took a lot of free damage there. And Hyuk is actually going to come out with a huge lead because Savior ran away with so many of those Mutalisks instead of just engaging. And I think he had a larger number of Mulisks to begin with. Savior just down to a single Mutalisk. So Savior actually in a little bit of trouble here. And Hyuk actually has a big Air Force left. A big Air Force left because of that distance mining. Wow. Wow. This is what I was talking about Hyuk. Just because when you think the game is one direction or the other, then Hyuk turns back around. Spore Colony able to take out a single Scourge there. Savior still might have this, though. He just needs to get his Air Force back up. But that's a lot of Muta pouring down. It looks like they're just going to pound down that Spore Colony. 3 more Mutalisks running up, and I don't know that that's enough. The shadow is much thicker for Hyuk than it is for Savior here. And yeah, Savior is going to end up losing this match. Savior's going to lose this match. SKT's going to take it off a Hyuk win, where it looked like Hyuk was just in dire straits. Savior running out, trying to plant as many Spore Colonies as he possibly can because he's about to lose his entire Air Force, and Zerglings pouring in as well as more Mulisks, and Savior's going to lose this match. Wow, Savior loses to Hyuk. Unbelievable. Wow, kudos to Hyuk. I gotta say, that was some nice play there to come back in that. That distance mining really played off for him. Savior just getting complacent and not keeping his Mulisk numbers high, just thinking that he was, I guess, safe with that Spore Colony. That one ill-advised attack ran headlong into a lot of Scourge. Just all those Scourge seemed to land, and he was running away, taking free hits that entire time. Hyuk looks like he's managed to peel away almost all of those drones, those Spore Colonies both down, and that is going to be GG. Yeah, so great win from Hyuk. That's got to feel good, beating Savior. Probably the guy that, and you could see the look on Savior's face, he was like, whoops. Hyuk beating the guy who probably made him play Zerg in the first place. Way to go, Hyuk. Taking down a game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. SKT takes the match. CJ Entus not able to rely on one of the guys who they're supposed to be able to rely on. Savior. Full set. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you guys later.
저글링을 마지영 선수 많이 뽑았기 때문에 그 저글링과 무탈리스가 들어갔을 때 분명히 앞마당 파괴할 수가 있었거든요. 대신에 박지영 선수 드론이 많아.